things just always pile up. Things just always pop up. If it's not this, it's going to be something else. If it's not that, it's going to be something else and something else. And when you learn to accept that, you start to relieve that pressure from yourself. What up, fam? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in yet again. This video is going to be really human design focused. I feel like my whole channel is really human design focused, so I don't know why I said that. I really want to take a deep dive into the root center. Let me back it up a little bit. I am a 3/5 self-projected projector with 6 undefined centers and 1 completely open center. The root center is one of the centers for me that is undefined. So it's uncolored, not a defined center, but there is actually definition because I have gates within the root center that are defined. Gate 19, 38, and 58 off the top of my head. Gate represents a different theme within my life and within my journey. The root center overall is one of the 2 pressure centers, the other pressure center being the head. And what that means is that these 2 centers are always under pressure to do something. For the root, it's connected to adrenaline, under pressure to do things, to complete things, to get things done. And when you have it undefined, but you are in your true self and you're in alignment and you're in balance and you know yourself and you're not letting any external influences or conditions kind of rule your life, you're not in a rush to complete anything. You tend to move at like your own natural cadence, your own natural rhythm. You don't feel like you need to hurry up and get things done. Hurry up and get things off of your plate. You focus only on like what needs to be done in the moment. You get through that task and you move on. But let's say, for example, you're at work, you have a ton of things, or you're at school and you have a ton of things on your list. Someone who is really in alignment and balance will look at that list and say, what can I feasibly complete today? What are the top 3 things, 2 things, 5 things that I can really get done? And let me focus on those tasks one at a time, get to whatever level of completion I feel like I need to get to. So for example, if it's a project, you know that you probably don't need to do the research and the script and the PowerPoint slides all in one day. You might just do the research. You might just do the research and writing out your talking points. You might decide that I just want to kind of get the outline for my deck so I understand like what it is that I'm looking, where I'm going to place them, what I think I'm going to need. So you're going to take it in bite-sized chunks and you're not going to feel under pressure to rush to the finish line. Whereas someone who is not in alignment, they're in their not self, they feel this pressure to get things off their plate. They feel pressure when things are added to their to-do list because they just want to get out from under that pressure of having these things looming in their atmosphere. It's like, oh my God, I have so many things to do. I just want to get it off my plate. I just want to get it over and done with. I just want to like move on and breathe, because if I don't do it now, it's just never going to get done and it's going to consume me and I'm going to be stressed and I just need to get it all done right now. What happens with that is you're always going to be under pressure because things just always pile up.
Certainly pile up.
Things just always pop up. If it's not this, it's going to be something else. If it's not that, it's going to be something else and something else. And when you learn to accept that, you start to relieve that pressure from yourself.
What a relief.
You tend to rush to finish tasks just to alleviate that feeling of pressure and stress that you feel like you're under the gun and you just have to get it done. And the sooner you get it done, the sooner you'll be free of the pressure. But that can also create an imbalance in your natural flow and your natural cadence and your natural rhythm because you're always on this hamster wheel of trying to get things done so you can be relieved of the pressure to the point of exhaustion, to the point of burnout. And for me, this was so true. So true. I think since leaving the 9-to-5 world, I've been able to step back. I've been able to breathe. I've been able to see all the ways that I was under pressure to get free of pressure, to get things done, to do all the things that are on my to-do list. And I feel like for me, the 9-to-5 corporate world really celebrates that. They celebrate the person who will tear through their to-do list.
Lists are good. Lists are good. Lists are good.
And have their hands out being like, okay, I want some more. I'm still hungry for more. Thank you, sir. Can I have another?
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
And that is just not healthy for everyone. It was not healthy for me. It was sustainable up until a point, until it wasn't sustainable. And then I was burnt out. And then I was bitter. And then I was exhausted. And then I got physically ill. My mental health was declining because it's not sustainable to constantly be on that. What's next? What's next? What's next? Let me just get free. Let me just get free so that I can breathe. Realizing that you're never going to get free, that you're never going to be able to breathe, because at the root of it, you're not allowing yourself to create boundaries, healthy and necessary boundaries for yourself.
Boundaries. Important.
To say, this is where I can complete, this is what I'm able to focus on, this is what I'm able to do, and anything outside of that will have to wait, because it's not more important than my health, than my peace of mind, than me being at ease. It's not more important than that. And as I learn about all the ways that I've been conditioned by this world, because if you would have asked me 2 years ago, do you think that you're a highly productive person, I would have been like, yes. I can tear through a to-do list. I can go through 20 things in one day. You give me a project tomorrow, I'll finish it tonight. Like, being dramatic, but like, I have been that person who is always like, I'm gonna get it done. And not only am I gonna get it done, I'm gonna get it done with flying colors. I'm gonna be a perfectionist. I'm gonna get it done ahead of schedule. And then I'm gonna hand out my little hand and say, please give me more. I can do more. That also goes into the ego center and feeling like I have something to prove, but we'll get to that. If you're looking at your chart and you have this undefined root center, just know there is no pressure. It is an illusion. It's not really an illusion. It's a feeling in the body that is being triggered and propelled by conditioning. But just know that you can decondition yourself and you can reframe and set up new parameters around what works for you and what doesn't.
It's not working for me!
And what I learned is that it doesn't work for me to be under pressure to complete things. It doesn't work for me to run through a to-do list just so I can feel relief, only for the next day to turn around and have more and more things to do. It's about what's really needed. I think this is another opportunity to look at your motivation, because for me, I'm a need motivation. It's like, what is absolutely needed in this moment and what can wait? What is the key things that need to get done and what are the nice to haves? When I started to frame my world like that, I was like, oh, there's so many things I'm doing unnecessarily. And the root center doesn't stand alone in its conditioning and the way that I look at the pressure to get things done. It also has to do with the heart ego being undefined, the fact that I feel like I have something to prove. It also has to do with the open head center and the fact that I feel like I'm under pressure to have the answers to things that I don't even need to be thinking about. I'm thinking about things and trying to solve things and have answers for things and have ideas for things that are not even meant for me to. I'm literally thinking about things with this open head center that I should not even be thinking about, that they're not even relevant. They're not even my things to think about. They're not even mine. And I think a lot of what these open centers and undefined centers do for us when we have them is we take on a lot of things from the outside world, from people around us, and we mistake them as our own. And when you start to figure out what being in alignment and being in balance and being in your true self is within that center versus what is not self, what is not you, you start to say, oh wow, yeah, that's actually not mine. That's not my ideology. That's not my way of doing things. That's not my concern. That's not my thought to have. That's not my emotions. That's not my pressure. You start to take a deep breath and go, okay, well then what is me? And what do I want to be me? And what do I want to be true for me? What is my true self? And you can follow those themes, because within each of these centers, like within the root center, there is the not self and what that looks like and how it shows up. And then there is the true self. And the more you identify where you fall within the not self and you start to chip away at that, you can move yourself into the true self. And you can also do that through strategy and authority. It's just been so freeing for me. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found this helpful. Do you have an open root? Is it completely open? No definition, no defined gates? Do you have an undefined root where it's white, but you do have some definition? You do have some defined gates? Do you feel like you experience the themes of the not self, where you're always under pressure to get things done, where you're rushing to complete tasks, where you just want to be free and alleviate yourself of that pressure? Or do you find that you do set these boundaries and you do focus on one task at a time, you do focus on what can be completed, and you're very mindful of keeping yourself in balance, you're very mindful of what your natural cadence is and what is naturally true and right for you? And if you're completely open, you're like, what is pressure? I don't have experience with pressure. I don't feel pressure at all to do anything. I'd love to hear in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it. If you made it to the end of the video, please leave a red rose below. And as always, I love y'all. Thank you. And till next time, peace.